You got white stuff all over your mouth. Guys, if you see any white stuff, just let me know, please. Just let me know. Okay, it's Q&A time, and I procrastinated this one long enough, but I'm here now to do it. So what I'm going to do, I have 47 comments under the post I made in the community tab, and I'll be answering each question to the best of my ability. If the question is dated and the event already happened, I will just comment on it. So without further ado, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Thanks for your questions. So the first question on the list is from Mustafa Albatran, and he asked, what are your thoughts about World Cup Qatar taking place in November to December? Is it bad idea in winter, and how the league will continue? So he's basically asking my thoughts on the Qatar World Cup of 2022, the fact that it's being held in the winter months for some countries, but it's a summer months for other countries. And the reason why it's being held in those months, November and December, those are actually, I think, the warmest, like the coolest, not the warmest, the coolest months in Qatar. Because if you play in the summer, like my summer, New York summer in Qatar, oh my, it won't be fun. So that's the reason why they're taking it to, November, December, which is strange for me because it's going to be a winter World Cup. It's going to be a winter World Cup. And the fact that leagues start in August, September, you have to halt those leagues and then come back. But we have had a test run this season with the fact that the coronavirus came in, halted the progress of the various leagues, and then they restarted and got things finished. So this is going to be a shorter break too. It's only going to be about, like a 2 months break or whatever. And it's fine, man. We have to learn to adapt to change. And the Qatar World Cup is going to basically interrupt the whole, let's say it's going to interrupt the flow of things, but it's going to basically open our eyes for the future because we see what the coronavirus did and we have to learn to adapt as human beings. So we just have to be open to it and deal with it. It's going to be strange, as I said, but it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So the leagues, I think, are going to just take a break and then continue after the World Cup, which would be fine, as it has been proven this season. So the next question is from Adish Ray. He asked, who are the top 5 players in the world at the moment ranked? By the way, come on, City. Top 5 players in the world ranked right now. Well, you have to throw Messi and Ronaldo in there, and I'm not going to rank those two, but I think Messi is number 1, Ronaldo number 2 right now. But I said I wasn't going to rank it, but I ranked them. But Messi, Ronaldo, and the rest is very hard. It's very hard. Top 3 players. You have goalkeepers, you have forwards, you have midfielders, defenders. It's really hard to rank these players, you know what I'm saying, like, amongst each other. Messi and Ronaldo, they are anomalies, you know what I'm saying. You could rank these guys very easily. But a player by the name of Kevin De Bruyne has to be top 5 right now in the world. He definitely has to be top 5. You could throw Virgil van Dijk in there as a defender. He has been phenomenal. He has played like every game for the last 2 seasons in the Premier League. So you got to commend him with Liverpool getting 97 and 99 points back to back. So you got to commend Virgil van Dijk. He has changed their defense. On Kevin De Bruyne, just to, go back and talk about him a bit there. He's amazing, man. He's just amazing. He could hit them with his left, hit them with his right. He's a goal scorer, dead ball specialist. The assists he racked up this season in the Premier League, 20 assists, equaling Henry's record. And the man is just magnificent. He's just wondrous, you know what I mean? And if there's people out there who don't have him in their top 5, they're on something. They're smoking some weird stuff out here, you know what I'm saying? The 5th spot is it's really debatable. There's some very good players in the world right now. Very, very good players. You know, you have players like Sterling, Mahrez, very, very, very good. Salah, Mane, Lewandowski. You have Immobile. All these guys racking up a lot of goals. You have Koulibaly, very good player. Kylian Mbappe, Neymar Jr. You know it, man. There's players. There's players. There's players, and it's hard to name. It's really, really, there's guys like Bruno Fernandes really rising up the ranks right now. It's really hard to name a top 5, to be honest. But I'm going to give you some, the names I just named off, man. Mohamed Salah, what a player. What a player. Devastating down the right flank. Sadio Mane, devastating down the left flank. Amazing. 2 amazing players. It would be really hard not to put these guys in the top 5. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be really hard. Kylian Mbappe, still playing very, very well. Still young. Still young. How old is he? Is he like 21, 20, 22? The man is still a young boy comparing to myself. Neymar Jr. What a player, man. What a player. Lewandowski scoring them for fun. You know what I mean? The list goes on and on and on. You could throw Jan Oblak in there as a goalkeeper. Edison, he has proven himself to be very, very good despite a few mistakes here and there. Alisson Becker, the list, I could go on and on and on with names. I could go on and on. We are blessed. We are blessed with some very, very good footballers right now. I know a lot of people may say not as good as the ones in the past, but these guys are good, man. These guys, to be playing so much football every 2-3 days, you got to commend them, man. And high level, you got to commend them. If there's a name I'm not mentioning, pardon me, but these are some of the best footballers in the world at the moment. Everything is straight off the top 2, guys. I did not prepare for this. I went outside this morning. Let me give you a funny story, I went to sleep a bit late. My phone broke. Let me double back. Let me backtrack. My phone actually fell when I was coming down the stairs to do a live stream. I would do a gaming live stream. The phone fell. Bam. Broken. Usually if your phone screen crack, you're like, oh, it cracked, but it still works, whatever. But this time it cracked and the screen messed up, flickering. The phone, I can't use it. In-app. So got my wife's phone, her old phone, hooked that up. And then yesterday, I had to use it. I had to use it yesterday. So it's like I never put alarms in her phone, but I had alarms in my phone so that I could, wake up on time for work and everything. But today, I didn't wake up for work. I didn't wake up for work. I woke up 20 minutes past the time I had to punch in, had to clock in. And I'm like, yo, man, I can't come in today, emergency. He's like, okay, fine, whatever. That's fine. You have sick days, you use them. Then afterwards, I took a shower, went outside, and I'm just enjoying the tranquility and the peace of the morning. Sit on my stoop, and I'm like, I don't even have anything to do right now. Then something said, listen, you have a Q&A to do. Get up and go downstairs and do this Q&A. That's why I end up doing the Q&A right about now. So, yeah. So everything tied into, this whole thing happening. The phone falling, using my wife's phone, not putting on the alarm, and now I'm here. A day off of work. You know what I'm saying? I do have to go to work tomorrow, though, but we're not going to get into that. Everything happens for a reason. I do believe every single thing happens for a reason, and you don't need to pressure yourself. So the next question, Comfort Mosambo. He asked, now that our ban has been uplifted, he's talking about Manchester City, who do you want us to buy to strengthen our squad? I already know who I want. Well, Comfort Mosambo, under this video, if you're watching right now, tell me who you want. Tell me who you want. Don't keep it a secret. Okay, who do I want to strengthen City's squad? We are losing David Silva. He is leaving the club after 10 seasons. We have lost Leroy Sané. And we need to rebuild. Phil Foden, he has been there, but he is going to take David Silva's role in the team, basically. But you have a feeling we might still need a replacement for Silva. Because not like if Foden is replacing Silva. So you're going to need a very good midfielder. You're going to need a solid midfielder. And we have to, pick very carefully and bring in someone who could actually have an effect on the game. Like that, not as well. You can't replicate. It's gonna be very difficult to replicate what Silva did, but you're gonna need someone who you could at least bring off the bench, start sometimes to replace Silva. Not keep Foden on the bench, but Foden, he's a versatile player. He could play further ahead. So I don't think that'll affect Foden even if we bring in a new player. We have been linked to Ferran Torres, said to be the replacement for Leroy Sané. I really wish we could get Ferran Torres. I would love Ferran Torres, seriously. Seen him a couple times, very good player. Only 20 years old, plays for Valencia, came to the academy, just like David Silva. I'm not 100% sure if David Silva did come through the Valencia academy, but I know City bought him from Valencia. So that's kind of, I'm saying, like, it's poetic there, It's like, look at the narrative. Silva leaving, came from Valencia, now we're linked to a Valencia youngster. So that one would be nice. That one would just be perfect for City. So I'm looking forward to us signing Ferran Torres. We need two, not one. We need two solid centre-backs. I'm not sure if Otamendi is going to leave, but we could send Otamendi to Valencia. We got Otamendi from Valencia in a deal, swap deal with Ferran Torres plus cash, you know what I mean? Us paying the cash, not them paying the cash. Look, that's feasible. That's feasible. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. I don't know if there's any defenders over there that we actually want. Gabriel Paulista, Gerrard, he left the club. He's kind of up there in age. So I might be missing some really good defender over there, but I don't think we need any defender. Maybe Diakate. I think there's a Diabate. There's a young defender over there. There's a young defender from France who is playing at Valencia right now. Who knows? But Ferran Torres, though. Ferran Torres for sure. Ferran Torres. Left back position. Mendy, Zinchenko is not a left back. Cancelo has played there the last 2 games. So maybe Guardiola is saying, listen, that's the direction I'm heading right now. So we may not need another left back. But if you take Cancelo and you put him as a left back, then you're missing a right back. So you do need, you're missing a backup right back. So you do need a left back. We have been linked to Chilwell. We're not going to go in for Chilwell. Alex Telles, I saw someone made a video on Alex Telles. I think he would make a very, very good signing. Kalidou Koulibaly, I would love to have him. I would love to have, for the centre-backs, we have been linked to Nathan Ake. He would be fine as well. He could play as a left-back as well. But Nathan Ake, Kalidou Koulibaly, Ruben Diaz, we've been linked to Milan Skriniar. That'll be a good signing. Any one of these guys would be a very, very, very good signing. So that's how I think City are going to, bolster their team this season. Some players would leave. Maybe a Stones would leave. Maybe Otamendi will leave. I think Mendy would stay, but he would play more of a rotation kind of role. And I don't think anyone else would leave. I think that'll be it for the players leaving. And we are going to sign, I think, we're going to sign 4 players this season, this summer transfer window. And I think we're actually going to let go of 2 of the current players in the squad. So a replacement for Silva, a replacement for Sané, sell 2 players and bring in 2 more. So I think City are going to see 4 signings for the first team in the summer transfer window. So that's the best way I could actually answer that question. So the next question is from Eric LFC. That's Eric Liverpool FC. And he asks, if City do manage to win the Champions League, who do you think will be more unlucky? Liverpool, who finally won the league in 30 years without fans, or City to finally win the Champions League without fans? That's a great question. And I think it would be Liverpool. You have to wait for 30 years to win the Premier League, and you did it without the fans in the stadium, because they were outside the stadium on the night Liverpool lifted the trophy. But the fans were there in spirit every single time, I think, for Liverpool. And it reflected in the way the guys played. Maybe not in all the games. But I think the fans were there in spirit. But you cannot suffice to be in there in person. To be there in person, to witness it in person, it's incomparable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be there. You know what I'm saying? You just want to be there. There's nothing that compares to that. So I think it's Liverpool, because the thing is, they have won the Premier League title. That is something that happened. That's factual. City winning the Champions League, speculation, prediction, that might not actually happen. So if we do manage to win the Champions League this season, which will be held in Lisbon, Portugal, without our fans, it's fine. Because you guys say we don't have any fans anyway. You guys say we don't. So it'll be fine. It'll be like norm. You know what I mean? So that's the best way I could actually answer your question. It's a good question, though. It's different, but I like it. So we have a question here from VS2244 Does Stuff. For Q&A, what was the hardest thing for you when you started YouTube? That's a great question, man. A YouTube question. Mixing it up a little. Taking a break from the football there. So the hardest thing for me when I started YouTube. Well, I've always been very, very consistent. But the hardest thing was to actually come up with the ideas, to get out there, to actually get traction on the channel. I figured it out really fast, though. I figured it out really fast because, to be honest, I came into this as a neutral. Like, I just watch football. I love football. Didn't have a club. I wasn't supporting City at that time. But right away, I realized I need a club. I just can't be talking randomly here. You know what I mean? I need a club so people could always say, people are always going to taunt me and say, yeah, he's a City fan. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Or he giving it from a City fan perspective. Or, you know, you develop a rivalry with Liverpool. You continue the rivalry with United. And it's fun. So I figured out right away that, look, I need a team. And I didn't, like, it came so naturally. Like, I didn't sit down and look at the teams and just, and was thinking about, like, which one should I actually follow. It didn't happen like that. I was just watching City, and I'm like, what a team. It was early on in the 100-point season, and I'm like, what a team. I think this is the team that I'm going to actually follow, you know. I like this team. Without even looking back into their history or anything, I knew they had won a couple titles before. I knew they had gotten takeover and everything. But it was like I always compare it to like when you meet a girl for the first time. You're like, wow, you don't know anything about her, but you're just fascinated. You're infatuated. You're like, and that's picking a club. That was one of the hardest things at first. It was like no direction. So that kind of gave me a sense of direction in terms of the content and what I want to talk about on a regular basis. And it was just coming up with ideas that people are actually going to watch, things that people are going to watch. So that was a struggle at first, but I got over it and I just go with the flow, man. Football is a thing. You just have to go with the flow, react to the big events, talk about tournaments, do match previews, match reactions, and just here to give your thoughts, just here to be, a figure within the whole YouTube world of football. That's just what I'm doing right here, you know what I mean? And things have just developed over time. So here I am doing a Q&A today, you know what I mean? I didn't start by doing Q&As or anything, but this is actually something to do, to keep in touch with the people that actually watch the content. So that was the hardest thing. And another thing too, before I move on, it was just to balance work with making the videos, work, home life, and everything. I have kids, I have a wife. It was just to create that balance, a healthy balance. I don't know if I have created a healthy balance, but I'm just doing my thing, man. I'm just doing my thing. At least, in terms of that, I'm in the house. I'm not outside, I'm in the house. I'm safe. I'm doing my thing right here. So great question, though. Great question. Great question. I think I need some water, though. I need some water. My mouth is kind of dry. I need some water. I don't want to do heavy editing here, but I think I will do some heavy editing still to just make this thing really good. But I want to keep it as natural as possible. Excuse me. Hence the reason why, just take another water break. You don't want your mouth to get too dry. You got white stuff all over your mouth. Guys, if you see any white stuff, just let me know, please. Just let me know. So the next question is from Lungisani Kwanyana. And he asks, did you buy a gift for your daughter since her prediction was correct? Liverpool win the league. From Man City fan in South Africa. Well, me and my daughters actually, or my daughters and I, however you say it, it's the same thing, have to actually make a reaction video to their predictions. And I give my thoughts on, the teams and all of that. Procrastinating that one too. But it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. Definitely. Did I buy them a gift? Did I buy her a gift for predicting it right? No, I didn't. I did have to buy them stuff to make the video. I had to bribe them to actually make the video. So I think they got their gifts already. But they did a great job and the video was very entertaining. A lot of people watched it. It got around 6,000 views right now. And that's not bad. That's not bad for the first time doing something like that. I think that was the only video on YouTube of that type where someone who makes YouTube videos on football actually let their daughters predict the Premier League. So that was good. That was really good. That's a classic. So next question, Khaled Abu Omar. What do you think the main reason is behind the fact that Leicester have become trash since the second half of the season? Oh, that's a great question. The reason why Leicester have become trash, really bad, after like the second half, let's say since January, the second half of the season, and especially after restart, they have been really bad, man. They have been bad. I think they only picked up like 9 points or so out of a possible 25, 26, some 24 points, something like that. A lot out of a possible maybe 9 games left, 27 points. They didn't get a lot. Let's just say that. They did not get a lot of points. And they have themselves to blame. Injuries was a contributing factor with Pereira getting injured, Maddison getting injured. Soyuncu picked up a red card, for dangerous play there. So the players have themselves to blame. They really have themselves to blame. There was some more injuries that affected the team as well. There was a couple of times I think Vardy was out injured. He was going through a goal drought as well. Players like Iheanacho, Ayoze Perez didn't really step up. Tielemans, his form fell off. It's just a lot of contributing factors why Leicester City, basically fell off this season. After being in the top 4 for so long. They were 14, 15 points ahead of United, and they got passed by United, who end up placing third in the league, ahead of Chelsea and Leicester. And Leicester having to play Europa League, I think they were let's just say they were overachieving this season. People are saying that Leicester could actually win the league again. So I think they overachieved, and in the end, it became a bit too overwhelming for them. And they couldn't deal with the pressure. Injuries, as I said, was a contributing factor. Oh, and another player who got injured was Ben Chilwell. And they had to be using a guy by the name of Luke Thomas, a youngster, and it cost them. It cost them. Very thin margins, but it cost them, man. Giveaways in dangerous positions, it cost them. Maybe they didn't want it enough, or maybe they weren't in that position enough times to actually pull it off. One time they qualified for the Champions League was when they won the league, and they got all the way to the quarterfinals. So they're very quality. They're a quality team, but Brendan Rodgers not really in that position a lot of times. Maybe the fact that he was in Celtic, it kind of spoiled him a bit. But I think it all have to do with the players and them getting injured and them the backup players not really doing a damn thing there in the end. So they have themselves to blame, man. Way too many losses. I don't even need to get into these losses. And the crunch match against United, when you have your chance to actually say, listen, we are a quality team and we could beat anybody, you lose the game. You lose the game. But congrats to Jamie Vardy for picking up the Golden Boot award. Well deserved. Oldest person to ever do so. 33 years old. First Leicester man to win it since Gary Lineker in 1985. So they still deserve some credit. And I think the Europa League would be a very good place for them to play next season. That's a nice platform to build on. Europa League. Try winning that. And work hard and do better next season if you want a Champions League spot. Great question. Very good question. Got a lot more to go through. This video might actually be 2 hours long. 2-3 hours. I don't know. But let's see. Cap flip. So the next question is from Kyron Lakaya. He asks, how do you feel about where international football is? I know Germany has scheduled friendlies, but that's all I know. Well, international football, as we know, has been heavily affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And I love international football. Really love international football. International football content does well on the channel. People are fascinated by it. Even now, the international football content I made on the channel is still getting views, still getting comments. It means that people are longing for international football. Look, nothing compares, man. You know, you could have a club and you could put players together from different countries. But when players from the same countries come to play together, yo, that's exciting. That's fascinating. And I am missing international football quite a bit. Heavily affected, man. Where international football is right now, heavily affected, and there's a dilemma. There's a dilemma right now because they push for leagues to finish, push for the club football leagues to finish, but then you have World Cup qualifiers, you have tournaments being postponed in Euro 20, now becoming Euro 21, being postponed. We don't even know what the future holds. We don't know if the coronavirus pandemic is going to get out of control in the future. It's still out of control in many countries. So there's a lot of uncertainty shrouding the future of international football, the immediate future, and how it's going to affect the big tournaments for each confederation and for the World Cup in 2022. Would they need to push the World Cup back? Would the World Cup be played behind closed doors? There's a lot of questions that needs to be answered. But I think international football is going to be back in September. There's international friendlies, I think, and there's qualifiers for, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't really been looking into international football that much because there was none in the foreseeable future. And we're still in July. There's August. So I have some time to catch up, but international football has been heavily affected. I know with the club football, there's more money at stake. That's why they had to actually rush to get it finished. International football, not so much. It's a whole FIFA problem, you know. They have to sort their thing out. But it'll be back soon, and I hope things get back to normality. As close to normality as possible, so we could, get these players in their national colors running up and down the pitch and entertaining us. It's a bit selfish, but that's just how it is. That's the way of things. But great question, though. Great question. Next question is from Utkash Gupta. He asked, where do you think Liverpool need to strengthen their depth? And who will be the best backup forward that Liverpool should buy to fit their system? Okay, great question. Where do Liverpool need to strengthen? And you said their depth. Maybe their bench. Just one or two more players, maybe not one, maybe two or three more players in their squad to give them more strength off the bench. Liverpool have always been criticized and to say that they're a good 11, but the bench is kind of weak compared to City's bench. You know what I'm saying? So I think Liverpool have some work to do. They won the league, but I think City are still kind of ahead in terms of the quality, overall quality of the squad. And a lot of people might say because City spend more money, which is true, spend more money. Liverpool got to spend smartly, maybe more money, in order to bolster their squad. With the departures of Adam Lallana, he went to Brighton. Not a bad club to go to. Kind of weird. I thought he would have gone to Leicester, but maybe the football is a bit too intense for him, and Brighton would play a more, a little bit more laid-back style that might suit his style and, his physicality and his capabilities, because we know his injury history and everything. He has left. But with him leaving, Curtis Jones, a youngster from the academy, basically his replacement. Dejan Lovren has left as well. He has gone to Zenit St. Petersburg in the Russian league. Not a surprise there. Not really a surprise, but a good choice by Lovren because he is still going to be playing Champions League football. Lovren, you're smart, bro. I got to give it to you. You're not the best defender in the world, like you said, but you're smart. You're at least an intelligent person. Wasn't big in Liverpool title win, but you're smart. You moved to Zenit. Liverpool got some cash for you, and they're going to need to replace Lovren. So we could all look forward to Liverpool bringing in another centre-back. They'll be linked to Diego Carlos, but I have a feeling they might actually pick up a centre-back from one of the relegated teams in the Premier League. I think so. A Watford centre-back, maybe like a Koulibaly, I think would be a great signing though. He's a Belgian. I think Koulibaly is a very, very good player. He would make a neat signing. I always think Koulibaly looks much like Gini Wijnaldum. And he could be another Gini Wijnaldum kind of signing because when Newcastle got relegated, Liverpool bought Gini Wijnaldum from Newcastle. So I think a Koulibaly could be a good signing for Liverpool. You guys might not agree, but I think he's a quality defender. And if you look at the other clubs, and he's from Watford, by the way. If you look at a Bournemouth, maybe they'll try to get Nathan Ake. City has been linked to Ake as well. Maybe they try to get someone else. But they're going to definitely bring in a defender, a centre-back. So they'll be... You got to replace Lovren. You need depth in your squad, and that's why you ask. You need depth in your squad. A backup left-back is definitely going to be needed, I think, because Nico Williams would be the backup right-back. So Liverpool may actually bring in another left-back to help out Andy Robertson. Milner, he's a Swiss Army knife man. He could play there, but Milner is, 35 years old, so you want to look towards the future. Yasser Larouci, he's leaving the club to get first-time football. Regular first-team football. Did I say first-time football? I don't know what I'm thinking. But those are the positions where I think they need to strengthen. They have been linked with Thiago Alcantara of Bayern Munich, and I think that would be a really good signing if they get him. And they want to pay £25 million or so for him, or is it 25 million euros or so? Something, I think it's 25 million pounds. 25 million pounds, 25 million euros. It has to be pounds because that's going to be cheap. But I think Liverpool are going to get him at a bargain. I think they're going to get him. They are an attractive club. Thiago wants to play for another big team, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Liverpool. Could possibly win a title in the future. He's going to help in the creative aspect in the middle of the field for sure. Don't know if Gini Wijnaldum is going to leave. He's been rumored to leave. Last year, his contract hasn't renewed yet. So, those are the positions I think Liverpool need to strengthen. In terms of a backup center forward, that one is hard. That one is really hard. That one is hard to put my finger on. Definitely hard because you have Mane and Salah who could also play through the middle. Origi could play through the middle. So, push come to shove, you just play Oxlade-Chamberlain on the wings or play Divock Origi on the wings and put Mane or Salah to the center forward position. So I don't think Liverpool are going to go in for another center forward. Or, Minamino, he could also play through the center. So that's my thoughts on that question. Very, very good question though. Very good question. And as you said, to fit their system. So they would need to bring in players who could actually fit into Klopp's system. So that's the best I could answer that. I could go on and on and on, but that's the best way I could actually answer that question. But that's a good question. Wale Udo Footy. Some of you guys' names are hard to pronounce though. He asked, as a Liverpool fan, I am so glad that your ban has been uplifted, which means you won't actually play one game a week next season. Your thoughts? Very, very good. Very good. And I like the way you put this. A lot of Liverpool fans are not thinking. Other fans are not thinking. They're like, listen, City needs to be banned and they're cheaters and they this, that, bam, bam, bam. Listen, come on. Be smart people here. You could be accused of doing something. Whether you did it or not, you have to be proven guilty. There has to be some kind of substantial evidence to prove that you did such and such. It doesn't matter if you did it or not. This is not a judgment of morality here. This is a judgment of whether you did it or not. Whether you did what you were accused of or not. And they couldn't prove that City did what they did. It got overturned. In terms of the fine, 10 million euros reduced from 30. You got to pay a fine. You got to pay. There's court fees to be paid. There's administrative fees to be paid. That's just what I think. I might be wrong, might be right. Doesn't matter now. The ban has been overturned. City will be playing in the Champions League, and it's good for the teams that's actually competing against City. United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, the Leicesters, you name it. It's good for them. Because if you had City playing once a week or twice a week, sometimes there's a midweek match, you're going to have a team like City fresh every week. No, you don't want that. You don't want that. You definitely don't want the players fresh coming up. Because you know what they could do? We all know what they could do. They destroy teams. People are saying that City are destroying they're destroying football. They're destroying teams. Decimating teams. Left, right, and center. 5-0, 6-0, 8-0, 9-0. Yeah. Look. It was meant to happen. City weren't supposed to be banned from Europe. So just rejoice, man. Just rejoice and, take it as it is. Everything happens for a reason. Just remember that. Everything happens for a reason, and that was meant to happen. So, Wale also said, I honestly think City can win the Champions League, but I just have a feeling that Bayern could as well, and it could be Bayern. What are your thoughts? I feel that if City come up against Bayern, Bayern will win because they play the exact antidote to Pep's system, which is why I think they could potentially win it. But, not but. By the way, I am a Liverpool fan and would be pleased if City wins the CL. Look, we play Bayern Munich. If we get past Real Madrid, then we'll have to face who do we play? Damn, what's the draw like again? I think it's gonna be. Oh man, I need to check the draw real quick. I forgot the draw. I really forgot the draw. But I really forgot the draw. Champions League draw. Champions League draw. I really forgot the draw. Who we play? It's crazy. It's been so long. It's been so long since we had Champions League football. Okay, so the draw. The draw. Taking forever to load here. So the Champions League draw, right? This is it. This is it. If we beat Real Madrid, we would have to play one of Lyon or Juventus in the quarters. So that's going to be difficult if we play Juventus. Lyon, I think we could get past. It's going to be one-off games. It's not home and away. One-off games. Then, if Bayern manages to beat Chelsea, I think they will, then they meet Barcelona or Napoli. They have to get past those teams first. So the conversation is very difficult to have right now, to be honest. We could all speculate. But City need to do what they have to do against Real Madrid, then against Juventus, and Bayern need to do a job against one of Barcelona or Napoli. And I don't know if Bayern could get past a Messi right now. I don't know. You know, Messi might be out for blood after missing out on the La Liga title. So, look, man, it's difficult. It's really difficult to put my finger on right now. Whoever wins the Champions League, congratulations to them. I wish it could be City. But it's very hard to predict. Some very good teams are still in the tournament. Talking about Atalanta in red hot form, Leipzig. It could surprise us all and win it. Atletico Madrid, you know. So, guys, come on, man. Come on. Come on. It's hard. It is hard. So, we have another question here. Eli Anthony Gemayel, he asks, can you see an upset in the Champions League as it will be a one-off, one-match tie? You see? Same thing I was talking about. And if I go back to the tie right now, all the ties, we could only start from the round of 16 right about now. So, look, Napoli, 1-1 against Barcelona. If Napoli get past Barcelona, I think that would be an upset. Lyon leading 1-0. 1-0 against Juventus. Lyon do it in the second leg. It would be an upset. So those are the potential upsets that I think could actually happen still. If Real get past City, that won't be an upset. They won the Champions League 4 times in 5 years. If the likes of Chelsea get past Bayern, that could be an upset because overturning a deficit like that, a 3-0 deficit, that'll definitely be an upset. But if we move to the quarterfinals, Leipzig, if they get past Atletico Madrid, oh man, that would be one of the biggest upsets ever in Champions League history. Atalanta against PSG without a Mbappe, oh man, I don't know if Mbappe is going to get fit enough for that match, but what an upset that would be. And Atalanta, they're capable of it. They're capable of this, man, I'm telling you. I got to make videos, separate videos talking about each Champions League ties, but look, man. Ademola, look, man, listen. And he plays for Leipzig too, so yeah, I think he's at Leipzig. Look, man, we're in for a hell of a ride. Let's just say that. So those are the potential upsets that could actually happen. But you know what we know? This is what we know. Leipzig or Atalanta could actually be in the final, I think. They could actually make the final. Because if you have quarterfinal 2 versus quarterfinal 4, you could actually have a Leipzig versus Atalanta or Leipzig versus PSG. You see what I'm saying? You get where I'm coming at. So, if we know for sure, this is what we know for sure. We know for sure that one of Leipzig, Atletico Madrid, Atalanta, or PSG is going to be in the final. And that's fascinating in itself. We know one of these teams are going to be in the final. Oh, man, doesn't that get you excited? That definitely have to get you excited. Is this PSG's year to win the Champions League? I don't know. Is this Atletico Madrid's year to win it? Or are they going to be bridesmaids again? I don't know. So, look, man, look, man. Ademola, look, man. Oh, it's exciting stuff. Whether City win it or whether whoever wins it is going to be big for their season. It's going to be huge. Barcelona win it. They didn't win La Liga, so it'll be big. Real Madrid wins it. It'll be big for them because look, man. They won La Liga. They could cap it off with a Champions League. It'll be big for them. Leipzig do it. Atletico Madrid do it. Atalanta do it. PSG, it will be big. City, first time. Napoli, first time. Juventus, first time in 20 years. Cristiano Ronaldo, 22 plus years or so. It'll be big. Lyon, first time since early 90s. I think, no, that was Marseille that won it. It's not Lyon. So, first time. I might be mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But who else is in it? Bayern Munich could be a trouble. So, look. It's nice. It's nice. Chelsea, if the managers, manage to just come back from the dead, it'll be big. So, look. It's a fascinating spectacle that we call the Champions League. So great questions, people. Great questions, man. On to the next one. 8744. What's your favorite quote, advice someone has given you? Favorite quote or advice? Well, one of the best advice. Let me tell you the best advice someone actually gave me. It happened like 8 years ago. I had a car that I was paying for still. I was paying $450 a month for the car. Like when I got the car, I was really young. I think at that time I was 20 years old. I wanted a new car. I went to the dealership. I got a car. I didn't know anything about interest rates or whatnot. I got the car, high interest rate. I made a down payment. I didn't think I put down a lot of money, but I put down a couple thousands, but not enough to really eat up the payments. But I was paying $450 a month plus insurance. So I was paying, basically all the money I made as a 20-year-old was going back into the car. And it kind of hampered me for 3 years. But then I met this professor and he said, Dominic, you need to go to the bank. Get a person. I had owed $7,000 on the car. I had $7,000 left. And it was crippling me. It was a crippling bill. He said, go to the bank. Tell them I sent you. Join this credit union. Get a personal loan. I got the personal loan. It was a lower interest rate. It was a new deal, basically. And I had to only pay $150 a month. So it freed up $300. Ever since then, guys, I was much better with money. That guy helped me a lot. So that answers that question. I don't even need to go deeper into details. I still have that car and I'm looking into getting a new car. It's overdue. 11 years since I've actually upgraded my car. I need a bigger vehicle. So it helped me. Now I go into that, I'm going to be wiser, smarter, better, stronger. Vehicle is going to be faster too. So that's some of the best advice, man. Some of the best advice. If you're not sure, ask somebody who knows. Ask somebody experienced. They help you. So, next question. Javay O'Hara. And Javay O'Hara asks, has Liverpool been that good or has everyone else been poor? Great question. Absolutely fantastic question. I think it's a mixture of both. Because if you look at the table, where City, we managed to get 81 points for the season. 81, Remember the last 2 seasons, City got 98 and 100 points. Come on. And I think the season before, Pep only got like 78. So look, for them to get 99 points, and I'm actually happy that they didn't beat the record of the biggest margin that we give United, 19 points. This was actually 18, so whoo. And I'm glad that Liverpool didn't get 100 points. Couldn't shut up the Liverpool fans. But, look, was Liverpool that good or the other teams were that bad? I think Liverpool were that good and the other teams were that bad. I think it's a mixture of both. Because there were times when Liverpool just snatched victory out the jaws of defeat, snatched victory out the jaws of a draw, so you got to give it to them, man. Last minute goals, late goals, early goal, keeping the lead. they have just been a fantastic team. You have to give it to them. You got to give it to them. You can't take anything away from them. Their form at the back end of the season, very sketchy. They end up losing 3 times. Very, very sketchy, which is a lot. They're still unbeaten at home for the last 3 seasons, which is sick, mental, out of this world. So they have been very good. And if you could make your home ground a fortress, come on, man, come on. Look at Southampton. They can't do anything. They're not doing anything at home, really. So if you could make your home ground a fortress, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Liverpool have been very, 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 very good in the league. Maybe not in the Champions League. Maybe not in the Carabao Cup. Maybe not in the FA Cup. Maybe not in the Community Shield. But Club World Cup they won, and they won the league. They won the UEFA Super Cup. So they won 3 things. And they won the Champions League last season. So in the space of 18 months, they have won quite a lot. Let's say let's narrow it down to 14 months. They have won quite a lot. The other teams on the other hand, City, underwhelmed. Injuries have been a contributing factor. Maybe a lot of other things, players not stepping up. Maybe Pep Guardiola's philosophy and his tactics are stale. Maybe that needs a refresh. The other clubs, man, look, 60-something points max is simply poor. Liverpool placed 4th when City got 100 points with 75 points. So if teams are placing 4th with 60-something points, that's poor. That's poor. Like, come on. If City are going to get 2nd and still beat the other teams by 15 points, it's poor. The other teams in the league have been poor. Some may say they have been good. It's been the best season for a lot of teams, a Sheffield, a Wolves, a Burnley, like a Brighton and Newcastle. These teams have been, reasonably okay. But overall, poor in the grand scheme of things, comparing to Liverpool, who has been absolutely fantastic this season. So props to Jurgen Klopp, Jordan Henderson, Van Dijk, Alisson, and all the boys there at Liverpool, Mane, Salah, Firmino, you name it. They have been absolutely fantastic this season. Well-deserved first Premier League title after 30 years. Round of applause to Liverpool, man. Round of applause. Round of applause to them. They deserve it. They do deserve it. The other teams are poor, and Liverpool were freaking great. Great question. Great question. So let me move on to the next question. This has been a fun Q&A, though. It has been a fun Q&A. Oh, I had to change my battery there. All right, cap flip. Had to change my batteries there. So pardon the interruption and the delay. I know you're loving this right now, but pardon me. Pardon me. Next question. We got questions here from Prosper Dedun, and he asked, how does your daughter Cassidy feel predicting the Premier League top 3 so far? Every time I remind her of it, she's like smiling and giggling. She did a great job. I don't know how she did it, but she did a freaking great job predicting that Liverpool would come in 2nd, City would come in, well, not second. What am I saying? Liverpool would win the league. Maybe that's for next season. And City would come in 2nd. I don't remember who she predicted would come 3rd, but all I know, she did predict Liverpool to win it and City to come in 2nd. My other daughter, Melanie, predicted City to win it, Liverpool to come. I don't know if they actually, conspired to come up with this and came up with this predictions, but that was good. That was good. That was good by the girls. Second question. What gave you the idea to start this channel, or how did the channel come about? Well, I didn't even have an idea to do this. It's just that I had those same 2 girls in the car, picked them up from school because they don't live with me. So at that time, I picked them up from school, both of them, bring them to the house, we chill, then I drop them back to their houses. So I pick one daughter up, pick the second daughter up, and during that time, I'm watching the Champions League match between Barcelona and PSG. The infamous, the famed second leg match where PSG had a 4-0 advantage coming into that game and blew it. It was the biggest game I've seen. One of the most dramatic games. They defeated PSG 6-1. Insane. That was when Neymar was at Barcelona too. That was insane. So with the magnitude of the whole event, I took out the phone and I'm like, or I had the phone in the windshield or something on a holder. And I just started talking about the game, and they put out the video, and the video is getting like so views. I'm like, whoa, 10,000, 9,000. I'm like, whoa, I got to do this some more. And that's why I started talking more about the games I was actually watching, because I used to watch the Champions League, but I never spoke about them. I never talked about football ever in my life before with anybody. And I just started doing it on a channel, and I got better and better as time went by. And here I am today, 3 years later, still doing my damn thing. And that's how the channel came about. I didn't have an idea, but that's how the channel came about. So, 3, do you see Wycombe being promoted to the Premier League next season? That's a great question, but Wycombe Wanderers, who gained their first ever promotion to the Championship this season with guys like Akinfenwa, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. Wycombe Wanderers should actually aim and try their best to stay in the Championship, to help them financially and just to help them as a club, to just be a Championship club and not a lower league club. So it's a big achievement. I actually watched the match. I watched the playoff final, the whole thing. I made a video talking about it, everything. So you could go out and check. You could go on and check that video out. But I do not think that Wycombe Wanderers would gain promotion to the Premier League next season. If it happens, it would be one of the biggest things ever. It would be big. I know Bournemouth has came through the ranks and Burnley and these teams, but still, Wycombe Wanderers, Premier League club, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. But you never know. Who knows? They could have a financial takeover. They could bring in players, and who knows? They could be in the Premier League next season. So we don't know. But those are some great questions, Prosper. Appreciate it. Next up, we have Nikola Raduljovic, and he asks, do you watch any of the football parody cartoons on YouTube, like 4 Toons or The Champions? Short answer, no, I don't. I've seen them, but I'm not a big fan of these. I don't know why. I like cartoons and stuff, but just not a big. I never got into it. So, I'm not judging anyone who watch that type of content or anything, or who enjoy that type of content, but I'm just not a big fan of 4 Toons. Seriously. Nothing against them. Nothing against cartoons. Nothing against football parodies or anything. But it's just not my cup of tea. Is it your cup of tea? Guys, let me know if you like 4 Toons or cartoon parodies in the comment section down below. Next question we have from AVJ123, the Club America fan. And he asks, with City not getting banned from the UCL and Man United plus Chelsea spending big in the summer transfer window, do you think the opportunity for other clubs, Sheffield and Wolves, to get into the Champions League have been diminished for next season? Look, Sheffield and Wolves struggled to get even European football this season, and Sheffield ultimately missing out, and Wolves could ultimately miss out too if Arsenal wins the FA Cup. Wolves could only go into Europa League qualifiers if Chelsea win the FA Cup, by the way. Wolves could win the Europa League, they're still in it, and qualify for the Champions League. So it's all in their hands. Look, man, you do what you have to do and don't depend on what the other teams do. You depend on what you just do what you have to do. You make your signings, you do smart business, you play your football, talk on the field, and beat these teams. They're always going to try to improve. They are the bigger clubs, prestigiously. They are the richer clubs. They're going to do what they have to do to stay up on their perches. So teams like Sheffield and Wolves, they just need to continue doing what they do. And who knows, hope for the best. Hope that City, well, maybe not City, but United and the Arsenals and the Tottenhams and the Leicester and these teams, they're not as successful as they were this season and in the past seasons, for them to actually pick up European football. But it's a very, very difficult task. It's very, very difficult. It's been the same bunch of teams getting Champions League and Europa League for the last 5 or 6 seasons or so. Go back, do your research, and you see exactly what I'm talking about. But it's going to be hard to topple these teams. It's going to be hard to dislodge a City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United, Tottenham, Arsenal, maybe not Arsenal, in the future. So, great question, AVJ, man. Great question. Great question. So, definitely, the UCL and the Europa League chances diminished big time. Big time. Next question. Oyvind Vien, he asked, Klopp said that he will leave Liverpool in 4 years. Do you think Gerrard will take over? It's a tricky one, you know what I mean? Because Steven Gerrard was probably wishing that someone not as good was at Liverpool and not Klopp, so that they could get sacked and he could get the job, his dream job for his club. He's a legend at the club. So with Frank Lampard taking over at Chelsea, Gerrard would have loved to be managing Liverpool at the same time. By the time he eventually gets the job, I think he will get the job eventually if he continues doing well. He's at Rangers. He's been linked to, I think, Bristol City. So if he gets one of those jobs, if he gets the Bristol City job, who knows, and he does well going forward, he could eventually become the Liverpool manager. It's probably destined for it to happen. I think it will happen. So I think it will happen because Klopp wouldn't want to stay at Liverpool forever. He would want to do maybe 10 years. Maybe he'll extend his contract an extra year and do 10 years at Liverpool, win a couple more things, and after Steven Gerrard will take over. But best believe it, once there's life, once he's still alive, once football is still around, once he's still a manager and doing okay, well, if he's still a manager, he would still be doing okay, He would one day take over Liverpool Football Club as their manager. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know in the comment section down below. So, Hungry7, he asked, can you do a stream where you take on viewers online in FIFA matches? That's something I could do in the future. I'm still working out the chinks in terms of FIFA 20 and everything, career mode and playing online and all that. So I'm still getting better at that. So in the future, I will definitely play against fans. I have to actually download or subscribe to the PlayStation Network, I think, in order to connect to people. I think that's how it works. I'm not as young as you think, I'm on the verge of being 34 years old. 34. Like, I can't believe I'm going to be 34. So I still have a few things to figure out. You know what I mean? So the next question, Brawl Barry. Thank you, Brawl Barry, for supporting the FIFA 20 streams, by the way. Appreciate it, man. You show up all the time. What do you have to do for making a good YouTube channel? So basically, what you have to do to make a good YouTube channel. Great question. Do I have a good YouTube channel? I think I do. I think it could be a lot better too. But you know what? Sky's the limit. If I try to be as good as I can be now, what's going to be left for next year or the year after? So if I improve slowly and add new things to the channel slowly, I'm just building. I'm staying relevant. You know what I mean? I'm just, just building like a mansion, a castle, a fortress. So what makes a good, what do you have to do to build a good YouTube channel? First of all, there's different types of channels you could make in terms of football channel. I'm talking football. You could either choose to make a channel about your football team that you support. For me, I support City, but this is not a Man City channel. If I want to make a separate Man City channel, I can. But I don't think I'm going to do that right now. There's people who make Liverpool content only, like Ryan LFC. So that's a different type of channels. The thing is, when you have a channel like that, like a Man City only channel, you're restricted to only talking about Manchester City. And when you talk about other clubs, people are like, but this is a City channel. This is what I subscribe for. I didn't subscribe for the other content. So I did not restrict myself by making a City only channel or whatnot. This is a general football channel where I could do whatever I want once it falls within the basis of football. So the key to having a good channel, successful channel, is to be what's the word I'm looking for? Damn, the word isn't coming. It's not coming. Consistent. Be consistent. Make sure you add value. Be entertaining. And just show up. Speak your thoughts. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with the fans. And you'll be all right. So that's the best way I could actually answer that question. I could go on and on, but no need to. LFC Toronto asks, will you get more debate videos with you and Ryan LFC? Of course. We have been doing a lot of content lately, actually talking about the Premier League match weeks. At this point, still yet to do match week 38. Ryan has been busy, but it is what it is. I might actually have to end up doing it myself, but we'll see about that. But there'll definitely be more content with Ryan in the future and with other football fans, other channels as well. So look forward for that content. Look out for that content. So we have Andre Todoraski up in here, man. What's up, man? Andre's from Macedonia. He's a City fan. What do you think about Koulibaly to Manchester City? Look. First of all, Koulibaly says he wants to play for City. He would love to play for City or another big club, but he did mention City. And he did also say that he could end up staying at Napoli too. He's 29 years old. He is going to worth, he's going to cost, he's worth over 100 mil, but he's going to, in the climate right now, economic climate, he's going to cost around 70 million. That's kind of the figure that City does play for players, 70 million pounds. 70 million euros. Look, I'll go in for him, man. I'll go in for Koulibaly. I would absolutely love Koulibaly at Manchester City. If I get Koulibaly at Manchester City, I would be so happy. I'm telling you. I'll be happy because I know with Koulibaly back there, we're going to win things. We're going to win more things. And that's my thoughts on him. He's a beast, man. The Senegalese, he's a beast. I would love him. You're wasting your time at Napoli, man. Move. Come over to City. Seriously. So, The Bachelor asks, as a City fan, do you think any foul play is behind the club's ban being overturned? Their fine was reduced and the Champions League being overturned. By the fact that they are still being fined means that there was clear wrongdoing. What are your thoughts? Well, I spoke about this early on in the Q&A. It's a justice system. You say that I'm guilty without providing substantial evidence that was taken illegally by someone who was actually locked up. Evidence that you're not sure is concrete evidence. And you use that basis to prosecute a club which would have caused major financial ramifications. And you ban them 2 years from the Champions League and the Europa League. Fine them 40 million euros. City did what they had to do. They hired the lawyers. It's a justice system. Like, if I'm accused of doing something, I know it's not a personal issue. People are always going to say that, but it's the same kind of thing. If I'm accused of doing something and I know I didn't do it, or even if I did it, and you can't prove if I did it, but you're saying I did it and I got locked up for doing it, if I hire the right lawyer who could prove I didn't do it, I'll get off without any jail time, but I might still get a fine. I might still get a fine for certain things like, putting things into disrepute or something like that, administrative court fees, I'll still get some kind of fine. I'll still get some kind of fine for something. They'll find something to charge me on. Something. I'm not saying that City are innocent, completely innocent here. I don't think any club is innocent in terms of the whole financial fair play thing. None of them. All of them. They do something to fix up their taxes and fudge up their tax. They do something. They do something to lower tax bills, this, that. Look, we're not going to get into that. But I think City did what they had to do, and they got the ban overturned. And I don't think there was any foul play involved in that. I don't think there was any foul play. They just did what they had to do. It's just the way of the world. It's just the way of things. That's my thoughts on that. So we have another question here from Michael Olapido. Thanks, Michael, for the continued support, bro. Liverpool want Norwich's Lewis and Cantwell. What do you think about them? Will they be good additions to the squad? So, Jamal Lewis, young left back. I think he would do a very good job as a backup left back to Robertson, to be completely honest. Bring him off the bench sometimes, play him in the cups. I think he would be a good addition, and he would fit Liverpool in terms of their financial patterns, not their capabilities, but the way they have been going financially. He wouldn't cost a lot. So to bring in a player like Jamal Williams would not be a bad move at all. To be a backup left back, don't think he'll start many games, but if Robertson isn't fit, I think Lewis could do a pretty good job. He's one of the best players on that Norwich team that got relegated. Definitely one of the best players. As for Todd Cantwell, he has been linked with Liverpool. A very, very neat player. And lately I've been seeing that he's been working very, very hard, doing more attacking, defensive work than attacking work. And he scored a goal in one of their matches lately. Can't remember which game, but they were actually fighting. They ended up losing the game still. But he scored a goal from distance, which shows he's a very good player. But is he the player that Liverpool needs, though? You know what I mean? I could understand Lewis being a backup. But Cantwell, he would be a backup player as well to come off the bench. But is he the man to have an effect and actually cast a spell on a match? I don't know, man. I don't know. I have second thoughts on Cantwell. To be honest. I think he should stay with Norwich for maybe one more season. And maybe then you could assess. But I could be wrong. But that's just my thoughts on Todd Cantwell and Jamal Lewis. Next question. We have another question from Eric LFC. What is your dream Champions League final match? Well, if you ask that, that means you're asking me, a City fan, a dream Champions League final match. A dream Champions League final match for me would be Manchester City against Leipzig or Atalanta. That would be a dream match because I know I'm going to get the better of one of those teams. I know it. Dream Champions League match. Look, if we get to the Champions League, we would have to face one of Atletico Madrid, PSG, Leipzig, or Atalanta. Who do I don't want to face? Atletico Madrid. Don't want to face them. PSG, I think we could beat PSG. We could beat any one of these teams. Anyone. Bring any one of them, come, we could handle them. But it's going to be tough. Anybody you play against in the Champions League final this year, it's going to be tough. But when you talk about a dream match, it's going to be a game where it's ideal for you. It's ideal. You know what I mean? Fantasy Island, ideal. And that will be against Leipzig or Atalanta, who we played already. So, there you go. If City aren't in the Champions League final, it's hard. It's hard. A Juventus versus PSG, Atletico Madrid, that'd be nice. A new winner would be nice. Let me just say that. A new winner this season in the Champions League would be nice. Next question. Advenko, what is your favorite thing to do to relax? Favorite thing to do to relax? Sleep. 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 Seriously. Watch a movie, fall asleep while doing it. Favorite thing to do. Have a snack, watch a movie, fall asleep. That's my favorite thing to do to relax. Seriously. I'm not in the Caribbean or any tropical place where I could, string up a hammock and go inside the hammock and drink pina coladas or drink some strong rum or something and just relax. You know what I mean? I'm in New York City, the city that never sleeps. And I work, get off of work, I'm hella tired. The best thing to do to relax is to sleep. Great question, great non-football question. What do you do? What's the best thing you do or your favorite thing to do to relax, Advenko? Let me know. Or anybody else, let me know in the comment section down below. Next question, Abe Hiramat. UCL final will be Manchester. UCL final will be Man City versus PSG, and the champions were Manchester City. What about you, Dominic Rich? Well, I actually just talked about that. I actually just spoke about that. It's gonna be very difficult to predict who's gonna be in the final. The tournament is coming up soon, and we're gonna know very soon. We're gonna know very, very soon, and maybe I'll do another Q&A, and then I could further, elaborate on my thoughts on this. Next question, Juma, lovely boy. Will Liverpool win next season's Premier League? Man. Next season's Premier League question. Will Liverpool lift it? Will Liverpool defend next season's title? Or next season, will Liverpool defend their title next season? Klopp said, this is what Klopp said. Klopp said that they are not going to defend the title. He already said it. They won't defend the title. They would attack the title. Let me sip some water on that. Klopp said they would attack the title. If you see how the trend is going right now, City, 100 points, 98 points. Liverpool, 97 points, 99 points. It means that there's going to be a fall off next season. There's going to be a drop off next season. So with Klopp saying that he's going to attack the title means they are not going to defend their title, which means someone else is going to win the title next season. It won't be Liverpool lifting the Premier League title next season. Is this an early prediction I'm making? No. It's not an early prediction. We got to see how the other teams do in the transfer window, and we got to see how the teams line up. But according to what Klopp said, I know you could attack the title and win it, but he said they won't defend it. So he said it. I didn't see it. He said it. So I'm going to go with Klopp here. And say Liverpool does not defend their title, and we see another winner next season. Whether it's going to be City, United, Chelsea, Leicester, Tottenham winning their first Premier League title, Arsenal, Sheffield, Wolves, whoever wins it, it's going to be a different winner than the current winners. That's where I'm at right now. The King asked, if you had to support an MLS team, who would you support? Well, if I have to support an MLS team, it would be a no-brainer. I have to support an MLS team from New York. NYFC, who are part of the City Group, or New York Red Bulls, who are part of the Red Bull Group. It would have to be NYFC. I'm a Man City fan. It's only right that I'll be an NYFC fan as well. And to make matters worse, I actually met the NYFC team 2 years ago while going to Florida on a cruise, and I shook David Villa's hand. I shook Patrick Vieira's hand. I went on the cruise, and after that cruise, my wife got pregnant. So you know what that means? There was some magic in those handshakes, and I got a son, my first son. I have 2 daughters, and I got a son now. So look, man, it's poetic, man. It's poetic. Everything happens for a reason. So it would be NYFC though. It would be NYFC, where I could actually get to go to the games I've never been to an MLS game too, so I got to change that in the future. Have to change that in the future. Great question, though. Great question. So the answer would be New York City FC. NYFC. So, next question we have here. Nipun Sharma. What's up, Nipun? Whose trophy drought will come to an end first? Woo! Tottenham or the English national team? Great question you ask, young Padawan. Look, whose trophy drought would come end first, England or Tottenham? England won the World Cup when? Back in 1966. Have they won anything since then? Have they won the Euros? I don't think England have ever won the Euros. I don't think so. I'll have to do some things to verify this. You know what I'm saying? England national team, football team, national football team, right? We're going to check their honors. They won the World Cup. Have they won anything else? And then we're going to double check Tottenham because Tottenham haven't won a goddamn thing in a long time. So let's, and it's a drought. A drought could be 10 years. It could be 5 years. So it's a drought. So if we check the honors, England's football team honors, they have won the FIFA World Cup in 1966 and that's it. That's it. Only won the World Cup. So 1966, that's a 54-year drought. A 54-year drought. This is a great question, Nipun. Then if we if we check Tottenham Hotspur football team, and you go and you check their honors. Well, you know they have Mourinho at the club right now, and he wins things. So it seems as if the answer to this question is definitely Tottenham, unless Mourinho gets sacked next season, like early. So if you check the honors of the club, right? The honors. First Division Premier League title. Winners in 1950, 51, and 1960. Damn. It's been a long time. It's been a long time coming, but change gonna come. Look, it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. They won the FA Cup, though, in 1990-91. So they have one thing. So that's 30 years. They won the League Cup in 2007, 2008. So they have a 12-year gap between that drought. So 12 years, 54 years. I think it's Spurs. They have proven that they could win things, while the English team have proven that they can't. They placed third at the World Cup. They got knocked out of Euro 16 by Iceland, for God's sake. Remember that. So, answer to your question, Nipun, I had to do a bit of on-screen research, which is fine. You know, no pressure here. It's definitely Tottenham Hotspur. Their trophy drought would end before the England national team trophy drought does. We could see Tottenham picking up a Europa League next season, or a League Cup, or an FA Cup. Definitely. Josh Byrne, what's up, man? He asked, what system are you buying for the next generation? PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5. I'm a PlayStation guy. I had the PS3. I had the PS4 right now. And the PlayStation 5 is the system I'm going to buy for the next generation. I've never played Xbox. I can't remember ever playing Xbox in my life. I'm into PC games now. I'm playing the PC version of FIFA. So who knows? It could be PC. But Xbox or PlayStation, I'm going to say Xbox. What about you, Josh Byrne? What's your system? What system do you use? What's your preference? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anybody want to answer that? Let me know as well. Dave McDonald, do you think that England stand a chance at next year's Euros? Gotta clear my throat there. I do. I definitely do. I do. That's what they say when people gets married. I do. And I'm married too. I do. England. They didn't do too bad in the Nations Cup. They didn't do too bad at all. Didn't do too bad. I think they got third, right? Third at the World Cup. Fourth at the World Cup. Fourth at the World Cup. I kept saying they got third at the World Cup. They placed fourth. I kept saying that. I don't know why. They placed fourth at the World Cup. They were beaten by Belgium. Yeah. So, look. Next year, they could win the Euros. They have a great team. They have a great team. Let me say that. They have some very, very good players in their team. Young, fast, talented, resolute, adept at what they're doing. Both in attack and defense. The likes of Sancho, Greenwood coming through. Rashford. Right back. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Wan-Bissaka. They have guys like Declan Rice in the middle. Even you could put Ross Barkley's name. He's not doing too bad when he gets a chance. Mason Mount. I know people are going to be like, oh, he said Ross Barkley. Raheem Sterling. The team has some talent. It has some talent. Harry Kane, Tammy Abraham. We could even say Danny Ings if he have another great season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin if he has another great season. Not John Stones, not Jordan Pickford, but Nick Pope, Dean Henderson. These guys are coming through. Kyle Walker, I still think, should be given a chance, even as a centre back or sometimes as a right back. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Joe Gomez. Look, the team, Ben Chilwell, the team is good. The team is good. I think England stand a really good chance of winning the Euros next season, or at least finishing top 4. So that's my answer. We're not going to get too deep into it, but Southgate, he got a good thing going here. So don't fuck up, okay? You got a good thing going. Pardon my language. Next question. Mikkelsen Vital. And why you think of Atalanta and the Champions League? I made a whole video talking about that. Atalanta has been amazing. They were in the same group as City, Shakhtar, Dinamo. They didn't do well in their first 3 games, but they bounced back in their last 3. They beat Shakhtar, they beat Dinamo, they drew against City, qualified for the round of 16, smashed Valencia out of this park, out of the park. They're in the quarterfinals, where they face PSG, who may not have Mbappe. And I think Atalanta, they're currently second, I think, in Serie A. But they're going to be in the Champions League again next season. And I think for seasons to come, I think they have a great chance. But they would need to play out their skins. They would need to play their style of football, play fearless football, go out there and just do what they need to do. That's what I think they have to do. I don't think they should, go there and try to switch up their style, try to be overly defensive. Go out there and play your expansive style of football if you are going to, actually give yourself a chance. So I think Atalanta, everybody has a chance. They're in the last 8, so they have a nice path to the final as well. If they do get past PSG, I think Atalanta in the final. These are one-off games too, so you never know. You never know what they could do. Never know what the likes of Papu Gomez, the likes of Duvan, Luis Muriel, guys like Gosens, Malinovsky. Who else they got over there? Pasalic and co. are going to do under Pierre Gian Gasparini. I think that's his name. But Gasparini. But anyways, man, next question here. Ashvir Hemorrhage. Who will win next season's Premier League? Well, I already talked about that question. I already answered that question before. You guys are asking the same questions, which is fine. But who's going to win next season's Premier League? It's going to be one of City or Liverpool. I think City and Liverpool are miles, light years ahead of the other clubs. Seriously, in terms of their performances on the field. I think it's going to be a City-Liverpool thing again next season, and I'm going to leave it right there. Ben Chilwell asks, what is your opinion on Chelsea's transfers? Do you think they can become EPL champions? That's what you're going to say? Next season or in 2 or 3 years' time? Of course, man. Chelsea are doing some really good business. Chelsea are doing some good business. Maybe not the greatest business. By bringing in Ziyech, that was good business. Bringing in Werner, that's good business. Chasing Havertz, good business, but I don't know if it's actually needed, to be honest. But the more stars you have in your team, that's better. The more you shine. But work on your defense, man. Work on your defense. They've been linked to Chilwell. They want a new left back. They don't have Lampard. He inherited Marcos Alonso and Emerson Palmieri. He don't want those guys, it seems. He wants a left back. And you need a new goalkeeper for sure. Kepa, most expensive goalkeeper in the world, has flopped, in my opinion. Caballero played the last game that Chelsea won there against Wolves. So, come on. Go figure. That's the direction they're going. They need a left back, center back for sure, goalkeeper. Wait, let me go back. Left back, goalkeeper, and they need a center back. They need a proper center back. Their defense is too inconsistent. They need somebody to go alongside who you want to choose. If you want to go alongside Rudiger or Zuma. But I don't rate Christensen very highly. Tomori, I think, is a squad player at most. He could prove us all wrong. But I think they need to go in for a proper centre back. Maybe Lampard don't feel like it, but I think so. Ben Chilwell could join Chelsea, or maybe another left back. But I don't see the need for Havertz, in my opinion. I don't. They might see the need for Havertz, but I don't see the need for Havertz. Willian could leave, so maybe that's a replacement too. So Ziyech, that's a replacement. Jorginho could leave, so who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe they do need Havertz, but I don't see the need if Jorginho stays. But let us move on. But to answer your question, you did elaborate. I think Chelsea will be title challengers next season. They could challenge. Could. I think it's going to be a Liverpool City thing. Chelsea could stick their nose in here and there. But the season after that, after these guys and Lampard get his act together, if he's still at the club, I think Chelsea could definitely be a force to be reckoned with. They've always been a force to be reckoned with. So, yeah. Melvin Boateng. Why would Manchester City get fined if they apparently did nothing? No one said Man City did nothing. They obviously got fined for a reason. They got fined for not complying with UEFA and their investigation. That was the reason that was stated. So they didn't get fined for nothing. They got fined for not complying. It's like you accuse me of doing something and I dodge and duck you. You know, like, yeah, leave me alone. And it cost money to do these things. So a fine was saying, listen, you failed to cooperate, we're going to fine you. You delayed the process. And I'm not saying that City didn't do anything. Next question. Mickelson Vital again. Why you ain't covering the Serie A? The reason why I'm not covering the Italian Serie A, Italian League, is because I can't cover the Serie A, the Premier League, the Bundesliga, Liga, La Liga, MLS, you name it, at the same time. It's just not feasible. I could do like a recap where I talk about the results in other leagues. Maybe that's something I'll do going forward. Maybe I'll do a recap. Maybe that's something I could actually look into, but that's more work. And I don't have the time. That's the thing. This Q&A I got to do because I had an epiphany while I was outside and I'm like, oh, I got to go do my Q&A. I have some time right now. But apart from that, I don't be feeling like doing things. Mental health is very important, and sometimes you don't want to force yourself and then you end up in this dark place. So I just didn't feel like doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't watch, I watch a series sometimes and I just don't feel a need to talk about it. Seriously. I don't. But the Premier League is good. Premier League is good enough for me. It's something I could do a recap here and there of all the leagues, good stories and stuff. Yeah, but covering the Serie A, like, yeah, exclusively, I don't think it's going to happen. Sorry, bro. So, Mohammed Imran commented and he said, UEFA cheats. You see, people like to make themselves look stupid on the internet. UEFA cheats. You actually saying that UEFA are cheats. You were supposed to actually say Man City cheats. Let me help you. Everybody cheats. Believe me. Have you ever cheated in your life? Have you never cheated in your life? Have you never did anything wrong? Have you ever taken $1 out your mom's purse or your dad's wallet? Have you ever never? You never did anything like that? Are we all saints here? Not even Southampton are saints. You get it? But anyways, let's move on. Negativity there. Oleg Karpov. Who will win Euro 2021? Great question, man. Who would win Euro 2021? Look. The holders, France. No. The holders, Portugal. I'm thinking World Cup holders. The holders, Portugal, are going to be a force to be reckoned with. UEFA Nations League winners, Euro 16 winners. They didn't do too bad at the World Cup. But Cristiano Ronaldo, you can guarantee, is still going to be around. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So you're going to have to look out for Portugal. I'm going to give you 5 teams I think could actually win Euro 2021. England, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure. Definitely. So, Southgate's England. Fernando Santos's Portugal, if he's still at the helm there. Definitely those 2 teams you got to watch for. Roberto Martinez's Belgium. Haven't done anything with that great squad. They could be a threat in all departments. They are very, very good. Germany, they're out for blood. Knocked out in the World Cup group phase. Didn't do well at Euro 16. Won World Cup 2014. Look, man. Germany, Joachim Löw, he's building something. He's building a project. They'll be a force to be reckoned with. And, of course, the 5th team. 5th team I'm going to throw in there. France, Mbappe, Pogba, Kanté. The World Cup 2018 winners. You know, the Giroud, if he's still around. Griezmann, Pavard, and co. New players might be, inducted as well. But those are the 5 teams I think. My opinions could change going forward. Teams like Croatia would always think they have a chance. Spain could have a chance. Italy as well. They always have a chance. And, there's some other underdogs around that could actually pose a threat. But that's my top 5. And that's a great question, by the way. That's a great question. I'm loving it. Great question. So the next one, a lot of questions, man. A lot of questions. And I love it, man. I love it. These Q&As are very, very intimidating, man. I don't know why I do it. I should actually pick out the best questions, but I don't do that. I actually just answer everything, which is crazy. So the next question I have here is Eunice TX. He asked, what do you think about the Hakimi move to Inter Milan, and who do you think is the second best right back in the world? Second best right back? Why not say the best right back? So who are you saying is the best right back? Is it Hakimi? That's what you're saying? So the reason why, what do I think about Hakimi's move to Inter Milan? Inter wanted him more. They were willing to funds up the money. And they got their man from Real Madrid, who did not see Hakimi as part of their plans going forward because of his quality. And why I say because of his quality, he is too good to have on the bench. Real Madrid wants to persist with Dani Carvajal, who is not old. He's not old. People think Carvajal is an old player. He's probably 26 years old, 27 the most. maybe 28. But he's been doing a great job. Real Madrid won La Liga. Hakimi has been on Dortmund. He has impressed, but did he win anything? He didn't win things. So him going back to Real Madrid and dislodging Carvajal was not going to happen. So Hakimi had to look for a new home, whether it's Borussia Dortmund or Inter. And in the end, inevitably, it became Inter. Inter put up the money that Dortmund couldn't put up, and they got their man. I think Dortmund should have tried to do whatever they can to get Hakimi, because he was part of the system already. They failed. I like the move. Inter, they're becoming a force to be reckoned with again in Italy. And with Hakimi in their ranks, maybe they could finally dislodge Juventus from the top again. So who is the second best right back in the world? Right about now, it's hard. It's hard to say. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, he plays as a right back. So right now, he is the best right back in the world. To be honest, he is the best. He is the best. On form and from what he did over the last 3 seasons, he has proven himself to be ahead of the rest and in front in the race as the best right back in the world. Kyle Walker is a good right back, but he doesn't provide the impetus going forward like Trent Alexander-Arnold does. Maybe you could argue that Kyle Walker is a better defensive right back. Maybe you could argue that Wan-Bissaka is better defensively than Trent Alexander-Arnold, but with his attacking prowess, mixed with what he can do on the dead ball, his passing range, and combined with what he could also do defensively, he has to be classed as the best. Definitely. Carvajal is rounded as well, well-rounded, but I think it goes to Trent Alexander-Arnold, to be honest, if you ask me. Dani Alves, he's old. He was up there as one of the best right backs. There's a few other good right backs going around. When Kimmich was at right back, he could have been up there as the best right back, but he plays in midfield now. So it has to be Trent Alexander-Arnold is the best. And for number 2, your question I'm answering, second, I think it's Dani Carvajal. Hakimi, he could be in the question too, but he's more right wing back, if you ask me. But you said second, not third and fourth. So it's going to be Carvajal. And the last question I have on the list, I didn't even realize I got to the end. Namdi and Chukwu, man. Thank you very much, Namdi. Dom, do you think Liverpool can break City's 100 points record? And who is the laughing stock of the decade? Karius' mistake or Steven Gerrard's slip? Look, Liverpool did not break City's 100-point record. And who is the bigger laughing stock, Gerrard or Karius? To be honest, it's Karius, because after Gerrard's slip, Liverpool didn't win the league, yeah, but still, he recovered. His pride wasn't broken. He was still a good player. But did he retire after that season? I think he did. No, he went to play in the MLS. He did went to play in the MLS for LA Galaxy, I remember. So his pride wasn't broken. He was still a good player. And he's now a manager at Rangers. And he has a successful future ahead of him. But in terms of Loris Karius, ever since that dreadful era that happened, look, this was the night. This was the night. This right here. In Kiev. In Kiev. Someone brought that back from Ukraine for me. Ever since that dreadful night, the man never recovered. He never recovered. He went to Besiktas and he had some horror matches over there as well. He had to terminate his contract with Besiktas as well, terminate his loan. He's still a Liverpool player and they have to look for a new suitor. So it's Karius, man. His career went downhill since then. So that's it for the Q&A, man. It's been long. An hour 45 minutes. Recording time, it might be cut down to maybe an hour 43 minutes, but wow. What an epic. What an epic. I might actually break this up into 4 or 5 parts and a few clips here and there too. I'm telling you beforehand, because that might be the case. So guys, thank you very much for submitting your questions. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch these videos. I think I need a water break at the end too. Oh God. Thank you very much for the continued support on the channel. Guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich, as you should know. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Thank you very much for 34,000 subscribers. The channel is growing by the day. Still growing, which is nice. Leave your comments down below. Don't leave questions, please. There'll be a designated post for a new Q&A in the future. Leave your questions there, not here. I won't be answering questions here. Please. Guys, like the video. I'm tired, you can tell. Continue to support the channel. Head on over to cardsplug.com, which supports the channel as well. Get yourself one of those cards. Use the coupon code Dominic Rich FC to get yourself 15% off your orders. All the links will be in the description box down below. So, from your boy Dominic Rich, thanks for watching. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad.